your background prior to this was in engineering. So you did engineering. Did you do a degree, or was it like an apprenticeship or something like that?
No, so I did an apprenticeship. Probably like most people out of high school, had no idea what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Always mucked around with cars and been involved in that kind of thing, engineering bits and pieces. So, and my old man's a qualified engineer, so I thought, let's step into that. Got an apprenticeship.
Yeah. So you mainly you did a lot of like welding, eh?
Yeah, welding. Yeah. So technically, it's what you call a fitter welder apprenticeship. I think they called it like a diploma in applied engineering is the fancy term.
Yeah.
You just glue steel together. But no, I got a really good training with like top tradesmen for a company called Stevenson's Engineering, which is now IHG.
Was that in Auckland?
In Auckland, yeah, East Tamaki.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And so, so how long did that take? How long was your apprenticeship?
4 years for the apprenticeship, and then I did another
straight out of high school.
Yeah, straight out of high school.
Yep.
So I was kind of 18, I think, when I started. So I was 22 when I wrapped up, and then I did an extra year, which is like an advanced trade. So just probably more bookwork than actual
the admin,
hands-on stuff.
Yeah.
And then decided that I didn't want to do that for a job after 5 years or whatever it was.
Yeah. So then what'd you do after? Did you actually go and get a job doing that, or did you sort of think straight out of the training and stuff, you're like, oh no, it's not for me?
I did 1 year of being like a tradesman. It's finally good. It was nice to earn some proper money. I think apprenticeship was like $9 an hour or something.
Yeah, sheesh. Yeah.
So yeah, did a whole year, and then that kind of just in the back of my head, I thought, I don't know if I want to do this for the rest of my life. So,
was that a bit weird?
I think what kicked that off was looked around the workshop and like no disrespect to those people, but there was guys in their 60s that had, stepped foot in that place for 40 years, and I was like, that freaked me out.
Yeah, do you want to be that guy? Yeah.
I was in a mild panic attack every morning.
And so like in your first year, did you actually do some cool stuff? Did you make some cool stuff? Plenty of cool jobs.
Skills that I've taken, like I still have with me now, like I still play around with cars and things like that. So it's and have like really fond memories of that as a training. It's as a young man, or 18-year-old, didn't know anything, and you're kind of hanging around with guys in 40s, 50s, and
So your inspiration to actually go into that trade, was that because of your old man, or were there other things around you in high school that made you go down that path?
I was probably always like stronger at things like maths and like hands-on work. I've never been like a academic or anything like that. So it's like I think a trade was probably the only real option. Like most.
Well, I think a lot of young males, that is the path that they end up going down, because we're not like natural students, a lot of us, and if you can do stuff with your hands, that's awesome. And I think you said that you still tinker around with cars and stuff now, so you've done your trade, you learned a lot, but now you've got a skill that you can have for life, right? Yeah. So and getting into cars and stuff is all good. So you obviously done some travel in your life as well, like where did you end up going in your travels?
Yeah, so first when I left the engineering world, I kind of took off to Queenstown. And I'd started snowboarding a few years before that, so pretty much everything in my life was based around how can I get more snowboarding in.
Yeah.
So packed up, moved to Queenstown, bought a van, filled it up with all my stuff, and left. Ended up living down there for about 3.5 years.
Nice.
And doing kind of hotel maintenance work. So my first kind of forte into anything to do with customer service.
Yeah, right. I guess that's the thing about some of those trades, they do become very task focused, and you're not dealing with people, you're dealing with that weld or a certain piece of machinery or a certain job. You're not having to interact with customers a lot. Was that a bit of an eye opener for you?
Huge eye opener. Yeah, it's like in the engineering thing, you're working with a whole lot of grumpy old dudes, is what I used to call them. So turn up on site and you grunt around at a few different people, you don't say hello, and
grumpy old dude. That acronym is actually God.
All right. There's no gods there. So getting into hotel work, I was just handyman role, so simple stuff that pretty much anyone could do, but they thought, like, oh, we've picked up an engineer. They were over the moon.
Yeah, they're stoked. Can you fix this? And so when you're down in Queenstown doing the working in the hotels, good. I guess it'd be a great job for finishing up, then going up the mountain and carving a few trails, like they say.
Yeah.
Is that the lingo?
Yeah, not really, but I don't know what it is anymore either. So, got into that job, and like I was saying, everything was around like how much more snowboarding time can I get. I fancied myself, but when you get down, it was like it's a small fish, big pond. Or whatever. It's like, okay, there's a lot of good people here.
Yeah, you kind of you realise how good you are when you're snowboarding around a large group of people.
Yeah.